All right, Allison. Today is going to be a substance-filled day. By the way, we're telling people that we're going on drug and alcohol rehabilitation tomorrow, right? So
Yep.
May 1st is our big day to indulge. But the thing is that we do alcohol. We don't really do drugs, do we? So maybe we should leave the door open for drugs.
No.
Why not at this
Why
late
would you
stage?
want to do drugs?
Why? I don't know. There's a lot of drugs I haven't done. I don't even think I've done cocaine. I haven't ever.
Well, I mean,
Have you?
no. No. I
You
haven't.
sure?
I'm positive.
Plenty of coke in Lexington, I'm told.
I'm not really a doing drugs kind of person. People were not doing coke around me in high school. I can
Well,
tell
I'm
you
going to
that.
start getting into coke and possibly.
You'll probably lose weight.
You think so? I'm on the precipice of being tractor beamed into a weight loss program for my work. We'll see. So far, all of my other sponsors have not materialized, but it may happen. They may be throwing me on one of these weight loss programs, Alice, to defat me. And they actually mentioned in the email, another fat radio guy who lost 100 pounds. Imagine that.
Wow. Imagine. Can't picture you 100 pounds later.
What do you mean? There's pictures of me. The good years pictures are around. In the other room.
But you're older than that now, too.
So, by the way, I took, we got that. So I can't. Okay, forget it.
Forget what?
I'm just saying that. Forget it. I go to this well too many times, but I'm just saying, Alice. We have one of these showers. Alice and I don't have any fancy things. But we have a fridge that's great, and we have this great walk-in shower that's got a big. It's a rich person's shower.
Yeah, the people that sold the house, the realtor told them to redo the bathroom before they sold
Right.
it, so it was like freshly done when we got the house,
Right.
all brand new and
So
fancy.
it's got all these. The door closes, and it's like got the little it's not marbled the thing, but it fogs up there. So today when Alice was showering, I went in there and took a bunch of pictures of her.
'Cause you're a creep.
Yeah, but you should know that it was the glass was fogged up, so you would really have to work with your imagination to make. You can make out her hair and possibly, I mean, at some point you're washing your hair and whatever. I did announce myself before I went into the room by the record
Yeah,
show.
but unfortunately, the kid who was in the bathroom prior to you didn't lock the door on their way out, so it's not like I gave you permission to
There was
enter.
implied permission given. So,
No.
but here's the thing. So I think some of these photos should be made available.
No.
Why?
No!
It's not like
No.
what? It's not like
No.
Alice, it's not,
No.
they're
No.
not that bad. Can
No.
can we at least submit them to a jury of our peers?
No. No, absolutely not. No. No.
Do you want to see one right now?
No.
Here, let me show you.
No, I don't want you to show the picture.
Okay.
What if they can see it on camera? No. Just
Uh-oh.
no.
Hello? Are you calling me, Sally? Okay. All right, we'll table the idea, Alice. But I really think.
No, we're not tabling.
What
it.
if it's a
going
huge
away from-
moneymaker?
No. No.
Guys,
No.
I'm gonna
No.
put this out to
No.
you guys.
No, it's not. No.
You can't. The only.
No, you're gonna lose phone privilege.
Stop calling me, people.
I
Who?
as the person who pays the phone bill and can turn the phone lines on and off, you will lose your phone.
Okay. Well, I feel you're being obtuse and rigid unnecessarily.
No, that's
It's not as if
no.
these are nude shots. They're very
They are
obscure.
nude
They're
shots.
very obscure.
Stop.
I would not do that, Al. Whatever. Okay.
No.
You've sidetracked us. This is not where I wanted to start. So let's.
What do you mean it's not where you started here? I don't get what
I had
did.
an epiphany, Alice. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to monetize
You
the
need
podcast.
help. No, that's not. The podcast wasn't happening in the shower this morning. You're not. That's
Podcast is
not
always,
what you're.
It's always happening.
No, no, no,
Okay. Well,
No.
my brother's coming over. I'll see what
no.
he. Okay.
No, thank you.
I think. Oh, you know what? Since it's our last day for cold beers, maybe I'll get your permission
No,
when you're compromised.
no. I don't think I'll even agree to a compromise. There's no way. No.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, let's table this.
If you...
I'm not going to do anything. Alice, I'm not going to disseminate naked pictures of you. You know, make an offer.
I will kill you.
No, okay, fine. Okay. You probably wouldn't divorce me, right? Hey, guys, guys, can we be a little quieter, please?
No, absolutely not. No.
We're trying to have
And
important
also,
discussions in here.
another thing that's now a no
What?
is I'm not going to go. Well, we're not really going to need to anymore because we're not going to be drinking, but I'm not going to the Packy Forest anymore. I'm done. That part of my life is over.
All right, so Alice, talk to me about what happened at the Packy. Alice's job while I was getting sound was to go to the Packy, which those of you outside of New England is the package store for booze and beer.
Yes.
And there's one in town. In town, we have exactly one business that sells anything. They have the company store in town, and it's usually manned by a high school student at the register, and it's actually a good store inside. If you can get past the
it is a decent store,
absolute blight on the outside.
But it is a good store. But first of all, you asked me to get like a bunch of different stuff, like more stuff than usual.
Right, because we have company coming.
I had to get. I miscalculated. First, I got a hand carrying cart thing, but there wasn't enough room, so I had to go back to get a carriage halfway through.
Oh my goodness!
When
you listeners in Ukraine, you think you have it tough right now? No,
I'm not. So anyway, I also don't like to go to liquor stores when I'm wearing a lot of makeup because, like, first of all, I mean, I'm wearing makeup for the show, which I don't think it looks like a lot of makeup on the video necessarily, but in real life, it like kind of looks like a lot. And so then I'm in the liquor store, and now I'm picking out because I'm shopping for like your brother and stuff. I'm trying to pick
out him.
Well, that's fine. He likes IPAs, right? So
well, maybe he's got a presentation in the morning.
Well, I don't know. Anyway,
not my brother.
Okay,
my cousin
unnamed
Herb.
person that I was picking IPAs
Correct.
for, because you said just get a box, like a 12-pack of like a mix of IPAs.
A variety pack of variety.
But they didn't have anything like that.
Oh no.
All they had was like one type of beer in a box type of things. So they didn't have that. So then I'm trying to like go through the 4-packs. You want to go back there?
No.
They're still open. You can go look because I searched the store. So now I'm buying 3 4-packs of IPAs, which is stupidly expensive.
That's horrific that happened.
And they're falling out of the 4-pack things, and like I'm like dropping stuff. And now add to that, I have on all this makeup, so I'm like this chick who's standing here like dropping things and trying to pick out like double IPAs and like really like dude kind of beers a little bit. Yeah. So now every freaking 50-year-old guy with sunglasses on inside inexplicably.
You're married to a 50-year-old guy, dinkhead.
Needs to now talk to me about IPA choices because they're sensing a fellow spirit in the chick with all the makeup on who's picking out the like heavy-duty IPAs.
Pink sweatshirt.
So they're like, what do you think? Do you think I'll like this one? And I'm like,
oh my God, that's great.
I can't. So 2 different guys while I'm like,
oh my goodness.
They're like, do you need a hand with your beard? And I'm like, no, I don't. Like,
great.
It's terrible. It was like the worst thing to ever happen to me. Oh, I wanted to disappear from the store.
Did you get digits?
No, and I never want to do this again. So anyway.
My goodness, I'm sorry. The gauntlet that you must have gone through there.
It was terrible.
Oh,
I can't.
That sounds horrific, Alice.
It was horrific. It was horrific.
Should we file a police report, do you think?
No.
Talk about growing up in Lexington. These guys were like hitting on me in the store. I guarantee you that just on that hall where the bread is, there are variety packs. They're all over the place.
I went down the whole hallway. I looked at everything. Right. There's multiple hallways. You know, I went in the other aisle too, where they sometimes have stuff where I find your Bloody Marys when they have when you want those mixed Bloody
Oh, those
Marys.
are great.
Those are down like the second aisle. You have to
Right.
go into the other aisle for those too. So like I checked all the places. I didn't see any variety packs of IPAs. So
I'm sorry men were nice to you, Alice. Old men in their 50s. I'm sorry about that, Alice. Talk about being a spoiled yacht bunny.
so anyway,
My goodness.
I'm done going to the packy. That's over.
Just because I'm hot doesn't mean I can't get my beer out of her.
That's not why.
Wow.
I
My
just
goodness.
don't. I don't know. I just hate it.
I'm going back there with those shower pictures for those guys. Yes, I am.
Okay.
As reparations for your looking down on them.
I'm not looking down on them.
Just leave me alone. Ew. Okay. So can I? We're gonna start somewhere a little bit odd, even for us, which is. Oh no. Which is we're seeing. I guess it's along the lines of a fox in the henhouse. We're being told by friendly, smiling, well-dressed members of government and the media that they need to help us because we're being put upon by an onslaught of misinformation and disinformation, which, by the way, they're happy to define the difference for you. That's how thoroughly thoughtful they are in all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they're bringing out, Juliet Kayyem, well-credentialed know-nothings of every sort are coming out to tell you with hands folded. What the problem is disinformation, and its result. And disinformation these are facts that lead you to come to different conclusions than those elites have.
Mm-hmm.
So they want all those facts turned off. They don't like that stuff. They don't like you thinking for yourself. And they don't want you... and that's why the problem is that you're too stupid. Uh-oh.
Anson was hogging the charger? Wow.
Tell him he's in trouble, or whatever. So the idea is, you're such a nuisance. People aren't listening enough to all the credentialed, sophisticated, cosmopolitan embedders on the coasts. They're not listening enough to the people in LA and San Fran and Cambridge, Massachusetts. They don't seem to understand that they're in possession of all the facts and all the truth. And so they're mad at us. And that's why they have to now have a commission of free speech. Of disinformation, the Truth Council that Mayorkas is selling, etc. Mm-hmm. And because like they do with race and climate, they've tied through now, one of the things that's causing the misinformation. Misinformation led to the January 6th riots. Misinformation led to people think there's a problem with voting. Misinformation is leading to being used by these cartels, is being used as well to make people come over the border. Misinformation generally. So so your belief, for instance, that it's wrong to tell an 8-year-old about oral sex is part of the big world of misinformation that's out there, mm-hmm. and different disinformation that's out there. Some of it's literally disinformation, which is coming from foreign sources like Russia, which is the most evil place in the world. So if you're believing that stuff, that they label that, not only are you a person who's easily manipulated, but you're also colluding now with the bad Russians. Those are the guys who are mean to the people with the blue and yellow flags.
Right.
So there you go. So in the loudest voices, proponents for culling news sites and raw information getting to you are always the most malevolent.
Yeah.
Always the most malevolent. But they're coming in dressed as the good guy. I've got the white hat. But these white hats are really black hats. These are bad actors.
I have to tell you, though, I might be starting to change my position on the new DHS Board of Disinformation, or whatever we're calling the thing.
Oh, yeah?
Because I'm very excited for when President Ron DeSantis puts, I don't know, like Stephen Miller or maybe even like Steve Bannon or somebody in
Right.
charge of the board of misinformation, and then they get to run it and decide what's misinformation on the internet and get people kicked off their IP addresses and whatever. So.
Right, because the whole thing is a constructed smokescreen. It's just a way to weaponize government. In the same way, the broad term Homeland Security Department, really?
Right.
Yeah, this could be anything. Could be anything. Which is what you do when you allow a bunch of psychotic, radical Islamic extremists score a triple-double on you in 2001 in one day, and you are clueless. What we had, our defenses were clueless against these people, and so now we had to create a Homeland Security. Now we've got our bleep together. It'll never happen again. And it did never happen again because civilians on airplanes started...
Well, right. It didn't even happen again later that day when people on the airplane itself stopped it from happening. And probably had they known even earlier in the flight what was going on. But like on September 12th, you wouldn't have been... I mean, I know we weren't flying planes still on September 12th, but you would... on September 15th, or whenever flights started again, you wouldn't have been able to do 9/11.
Right.
You wouldn't have been able to do 9/11. We didn't need the Department of Homeland Security to stop more 9/11s. People caught on, and once people realized what was happening. But the reason why the first 3 planes happened the way they happened was because it used to be the way that you dealt with people taking over planes was you just let them do it, and then you negotiated with them.
Right.
That's like the way they used to do hijackings. That's just what you did, right? So the minute people realized what the plan was with the hijackings, that approach stopped. There was never any reason for us to take off our shoes at airport security.
Right. Although there was an attempted idiot shoe bomber who everybody beat up. But here's
Well, right, and then there were the people with the liquids or whatever.
But now, of course, the Department of Homeland Security is becoming the pernicious outfit that we were afraid it would be. Which brings us to Real Time with Bill Maher, which included a guest, Ali Velshi. Ali Velshi is a CNN journalist. You guys know him. He's one of the ones who comes off very thoughtful. He actually reminds me a little bit of Michael Wallace, the way he speaks. He uses a broadcaster's voice. He is an empty suit. I think Bill Maher should have done better. It was a crappy panel this week. But he is somebody who is a cultural elite.
Right.
And he feels that you definitely can't. He is a bearer of the truth. And he's worried that the truth that he's bestowing upon us, through his extreme benevolence, could be diluted with misinformation and disinformation. I just want to let you hear the way these guys sound, the way these kind of people sound. This was Real Time with Bill Maher this week. So they're talking about the acquisition of Twitter from Elon Musk, okay? And Ali Velshi talks about his concerns.
I think everybody needs to get over the fact that the First Amendment does not apply to Twitter. This is not government censorship of anything.
This is how you know you're dealing with a good elite. Because first he's going to
educate us a little bit.
Exactly. A little lesson for you, first of all.
Let's all learn a bit together about the First Amendment.
Yep, as his voice gets a little more baritone.
I think what we do have to worry about, what Elon Musk, who's a really great thinker and is really moving the needle on some important things in life about electric cars and about going to Mars.
Wow. What a take. Is he a great thinker moving us on electric cars and going to Mars, Ali Velshi? Thank you so much for that. My goodness, this is analysis.
I think what he needs to think about is our democracy, which is struggling at the moment, relies upon an informed electorate. And that's always been a problem for us historically. But social media is not helping us become a more informed electorate. So there's a responsibility even by a private company or private actors to say, am I making a bad situation worse? And how do I get you that town square that is so valuable without wrecking society? And I think Twitter could have a serious conversation with itself about that, as can Facebook.
All this other information out in Twitter is wrecking society. In other words, the picture of the society that Ali Velshi wants, and he's got lots of degrees. He's from Canada, through Africa. He's very interesting. He's really, really more interesting than you and me. I'll just say that, okay? So he's worried about this other information getting out there. At some point...
Well, the irony is, too, the information that they want to censor is information that's been 100% common knowledge in every society on the history of planet Earth, right? The information, like, about trans people, for example, right? Like, the idea that there are men and women and you're born what you're born and you can't change it, right? Like, that information, I mean, like, that's the kind of thing that they think wrecks society, is if you go and you call, like, a trans woman him, right? Then that's, like, that's the type of stuff that Twitter censors, right? Or if you go out there and you say that, like, you don't believe in vaccine, like, I mean... There have been all kinds of people doubting doctors and disagreeing with doctors throughout the history of society, right? And, like, a lot of times the people who doubted doctors were right? So these are things that are, when people talk about freedom of speech and the freedom to say what you want to say, like, these are things that literally have been, like, common knowledge and utterly commonplace through all of human history, right? Or if you want to go on there and if you want to say that, like, the police are good guys and that, like, they're not just wantonly killing black boys in the street, right? Like,
I'm glad you mentioned that, Alice. I'm glad you mentioned that, because that reminds me of something we're going to get to as well on the same topic.
Because that, too, I mean, like, people have always, it's always been common knowledge in a society that you need to have police out there, like... preventing crime. That's never been a questionable topic. The specific things that they want to call disinformation, because if you say them, you're wrecking society, are like the most long-standing things that people have ever said through human history. They're like the most obvious, clear things.
Well, absolutely.
Whereas they've invented totally new facts out of nowhere, and they're like, if you disagree with these, you're disinformation.
Well, right. But you're absolutely right. Because the large narratives they're trying to push are built on it. I remember talking to some very credentialed people about this as well a few years ago in the last days of Herald Radio, and one moron in particular saying, have you not seen the news? And I said, police aren't killing black people in any higher numbers than they are anywhere else based on incursions, and it's gone down over the years. It hasn't gone up. He said, are your eyes even open? It's like, to what? To your top-level Twitter? Yeah, but my eyes then are open when I drill down on this stuff, and I'm delighted to find out that there's not an epidemic of cops killing. But they want to believe that instant snapshot that they're fed by Ali Velshi.
And what's more, if you don't buy into their story, you're wrecking society.
Right.
Even though society has functioned just fine for thousands of years, having police. Like,
exactly. Because a cop shooting a young man dead who doesn't have a gun, it sounds like it's a terrible thing. With a little context that the young man was lunging for the cop's gun and had just been in a fist fight and wrestling episode with him, well, that's less of a tragedy. I'm sorry. Things have consequences in life. It happens in life. But that's where CNN was happy to jump right behind the Michael Brown stuff. Hands up, don't shoot. Hands up, don't shoot. Have hands up, don't shoot at people there constantly. And they dragged the theater idiots from the Parkland thing, because they wanted to, there are progressive tenets that they want to push. These things aren't there. I'm sorry. They just don't exist. You want to see what happens? Forward. Look at David Hogg. He is a renowned donkey child with a tiny brain who looks like an utter effing fool because you guys minted him a superstar, because you needed to show that finally the kids, as you hid behind the kids were speaking to power. Now we'll get rid of the guns. Anyway, so they talk about the Babylon Bee getting suspended from Twitter, and Bill Maher had said that that's a terrible thing. It's satire, obviously, but Velshi knows best.
Did you read about this Babylon Bee? Do you know what the Babylon Bee is? I didn't know this.
No.
It's like the Christian version of The Onion.
Because everyone needs that.
Well, some people do.
Can you imagine freaking, like, sanctimonious, self-important, because everyone needs that, right? Stupid Christian satire, right? Right? Am I right, audience? What a penis head.
So there's stuff that Twitter's done that falls into that category, and we think that's okay. I think
We think that's okay. Who is...
Wait, so he hadn't even heard of the Babylon Bee a second
No.
ago, but it's okay that they banned them?
Right. But we think that's okay. What Elon needs to learn, who the fuck are you, dude? You freaking empty suit, dumb freaking nothing. We think that's okay, but I have my problem. He's not an authority. Does he think he's an authority on it? He's a dumb, mouth-breathing reporter, because...
issue is no one else is going to regulate them because we've learned that we're not anywhere close to being able to understand this and regulate social media. So could these companies take some responsibility and say, imagine if we were really that town square. Imagine if we were this place where people with differing opinions could have robust discussions. And there's a way they can get there. It's not what Elon Musk is currently looking at, and that worries me a little bit. But, boy, if he could do
Oh, Ali Velshi worried a little bit about that. It's not what Musk is looking at doing.
that, if we can create that real town square, what would it do for us? You do it. You try and do it on your show, right? You battle people with different opinions with respect and respect their pluralism.
Right.
That's what that space would do for democracy.
Exactly. And since we're
that space says the know nothing. You know what?
That being said, if the left could, they would absolutely get Maher taken off the air.
Yes. No, absolutely.
Because he platforms people they don't like all the time.
He's got good ratings, so guys like Velshi wants to launder himself through him. He thinks that's his big star turn. Unfortunately, he's a dumb.
Twitter became a left-wing place. It just did.
You should see my Twitter. There's a lot of right-wing garbage on it.
Did you ever see Donald Trump's tweets?
Yeah.
I mean, Trump.
Yeah.
Trump.
That
was
wasn't
the
left-wing stuff.
That wasn't left-wing stuff.
But the point is, like,
guys, I think you're missing the point. It's governed by left-wing people. Do you get it? There's one side is given free reign, and one side is picked apart. They're not getting it. No, Donald Trump had it. First of all, Donald Trump's not even a right-wing guy. What is his politics?
MSNBC, Fox News. I mean, people have their own silos where they see the news that they want to see and very rarely challenges them. Newspapers the same way. We're almost back to 1790 where each party has their own newspaper.
This is now above the head of Ali Velshi.
Yeah,
Twitter could be a place
No.
where you might see an opinion that you didn't formally consider. And we need that desperately in America.
Here's Velshi again now, waving the flag.
I think what we are missing in the discussion of democracy and or free speech.
So effing self-important. Dude, I would freaking...
Because when he says what we are missing,
Right.
doesn't mean him.
Right, you know
what
what
we're missing means what you're missing that I'm about to tell you because I'm not missing it.
Exactly. He's winding up as if he's about to hold court intellectually. But he's the dumbest person in the room. But he doesn't think so. I mean, he winds up like you're about to get a Charles Krauthammer monologue here. But this guy's got zilch.
Speech, which is important, I think, to all of us and all of us here, is this idea of pluralism, which we do not nurture well enough in this country. The idea that, Bill, my goal tonight shouldn't be to get you to agree with me. It should be to cherish the fact that you and I hold different views on things, and I wouldn't have been exposed to them if I had not listened to you.
Right.
Yeah,
Right? That's
absolutely.
the point.
I hope so.
They're all clapping for something they don't believe in. Pluralism. We want to have pluralism. We want to live together. Live harmoniously together, as long as you're kept off the platform that I get to have.
Make that our North Star. I
North
think
Star.
we can generally
Weasel
agree
words.
most Americans are in favor of free speech and preserving it, and they should be, because when the lights go out, you don't get the news, and when you don't get the news, bad things happen to you.
Well,
When he means the news, he means from him.
People like him. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So now, it should be said, okay, so here's Ali Velshi, but here's a piece of, by the way, Factual, down the middle. You've heard how sober and thoughtful he's been so far, right? Here's another Ali Velshi cut when he gives away the game.
The problem here is that the net outcome of what may happen in the midterms in November is that democracy itself may be at stake. These texts demonstrate that there may be people who are leaders in Congress come November, come January as well, who just don't believe in democracy the way that we do.
Democracy itself, I say very factually, is at stake here. Just so you know. Which obviously means, since the Republicans are polling well, there must be misinformation and disinformation.
Right.
Because why else would there be? These people can't think. They don't have the brain power that I have. I say things like North Star. That shows I'm smarter than other people. I say stakeholders. That shows that I'm thoughtful in ways that you could never be. Here he is when Bill Maher goes over... Bill Maher, I'm only just using Ali Velshi as just the example of your typical member of the journalistic community. Bill Maher goes over the fact that the economy is dying and the inflation is through the roof, gas prices, yada 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 yada. Here's Ali Velshi's 2 cents on that, by the way, in a messaging moment for viewers.
In fairness, a mortgage, a 30-year fixed mortgage is 5% right now. It's almost double where it would have been a few years ago, but it's 5%. It's not 19%. It's not 14%. So we can still manage. It's the difficult.
We can still manage. So don't worry. We can still manage. It's not that bad. As he puts out fires now for the president.
Is no president wants to be the president of inflation and increasing oil prices, and the way you fight that is with raising interest rates, which is what's going on.
So the prescription is happening right now. He's doing it.
There's no good answer to this one.
No.
It's circumstantial.
The good answer is not to be in office when it happens.
Yeah, that's right. That is entirely
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Bill. Let's just seal off this entrance here, right? That's right. There's no good answer. Sometimes life happens to a president. There's nothing. It's the guy and his entire team responsible for the way the country operates economically in the banking system. There's nothing he can do. Nothing he can do. Can he not spend trillions? No, there's no good answer. The trillions had to be spent. Once again, here's Ali Velshi on some of the issues like don't say gay issues.
The culture war stuff, we have to make sure it's not causal, right? You're right.
So remember, this is the guy who wants his voice to be heard on Twitter, but not yours, because he only distills the truth.
One party is putting forward nonsense about Disney teaching your kids all sorts of things that they shouldn't know, and they're polling higher. It's not because of the Disney nonsense. It's not because of the culture war stuff. It's not because of the book banning. It's not because of all that stuff. It's exactly what you said. It's kitchen table issues, which is we are just in an unfortunate period.
It's weird how people think that. I mean, I think inflation is a kitchen table issue, obviously. But it's weird how people think that people wanting to talk to your kids about sex isn't a kitchen table issue. That's very abstract.
Great point.
Like, no, it's not, you weirdos.
Yes. Do you like pepperoni on your pizzas? Do you like oral sex as well? Yeah, that curriculum is not that at all. It's not that parents suddenly saw what their kids were being taught with CRT and all that stuff. No, those are all nonsense. Those are all nonsense. Not those things. It's something else. Those are fine, culturally fine.
But that wouldn't bother people at all if they could afford gas. Like, no, it would still bother us, actually.
Yes, in his amoral household, in his elitist, Brooklyn apartment, I'm sure it doesn't bother him. I'm sure the kids are down at Drag Queen Story Hour right now. Look at this. Look how tolerant we all are, honey. Look at how tolerant we all are. That our 4-year-old is getting a neck massage from this dude in a dressed like a harlot.
And there are things going on in schools that parents don't like for very good reason.
But parents have not liked things going in schools for a long reason. I've got a banned book club that I run every Sunday. All we do is...
Of course he does. What a cockface.
These banned authors. I got Margaret Atwood on this Sunday. People have been banning books because they're prudish.
Has anybody banned Margaret Atwood? That's the, what's it called? The Handmaid's Tale lady.
I don't know.
I don't think.
Well, she's been banned. All right,
He's got a banned. The Handmaid's Tale.
He's got a banned book club that he does every Sunday. It's all just banned books. Well, maybe we should
have the banned book club for conservatives, and we can read our kids Dr. Seuss books, or
no.
Things like what's the one that they were banning at some school in California?
To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird. Like, what?
But this is what an elite cock this guy is. Listen.
And there are things going on in schools that parents don't like for very good reason.
But parents have not liked things going
pretend-
in schools for a long reason. I've got a banned book club that I run every Sunday. All we do is banned authors. I got Margaret Atwood on this Sunday. People have been banning books because they're prudish. For generations. People have been burning books.
Well,
we have burning books going on right now in America. Parents always don't want their kids learning stuff that's going to be bad. Doug Jones prosecuted a case that was unsettled in Alabama since 1963. He did it in the 2000s. These are still stories that people in Alabama didn't want settled. That's the way of the world. We're going to have to learn things that you and your kids are uncomfortable with.
Well,
that's got to work.
That's
Of
course. I don't think anybody disagrees
We're going
with
to
that.
have to learn things that your kids are uncomfortable
Your
with.
kids have to see the comic book with the gay blowjobs in it. They just have to be able to see it.
Don't be a prude.
Yeah, stop being a prude.
You're being
going
a
to
prude.
have to open your mind. You're going to have to see some things you're uncomfortable with. And your children are going to have to see some things that you're uncomfortable with.
I'm your intellectual better. I know. I only speak the truth. I only speak the truth. That's right. Which brings us, of course, and that was Ali Velshi on Bill Maher, which brings us, of course, to 2020. Ali Velshi in action. This is a place called Minneapolis, Minnesota. Let me paint the picture for you. There are flames 200 feet in the air as an entire neighborhood is burning down. There is mayhem, looting, violence, assaults. There is complete chaos behind him. And this is Ali Velshi describing the situation for you. Remember, this entire neighborhood was destroyed and has not been repaired. This neighborhood is gone.
I want to be clear in how I characterize this. This is mostly a protest. It is not generally speaking unruly, but fires have been started and
not generally speaking unruly. Of course, there's a city block is gone now. Black-owned businesses have been burned to the ground, but generally, he has to yell. It's so peaceful, the most peaceful, that he's got to yell over the din. I want to remind you that it's mostly fine, mostly peaceful, mostly okay.
there are always folks on the fringes of protest that do the things that we don't like.
There are fringe people that do things we don't like burn the place down, for instance. So he was one of the, he's addressed this several times to try to cover his ass because he knows that he looks like...
Yeah, he's famous for it.
Right, absolute. Eventually, it got so bad and he got so ridiculed that he changed his stance and took a principled stance on what we were all seeing in 2020. Remember, this is not misinformation or disinformation, even though this guy, misinformation, was telling you that what you're seeing with that camera behind him was not what you're seeing. It was mostly peaceful. There were some fringe things. In the moment where he needed to have the truth, he decided to say the thing that would cover up for mass criminal behavior. Now, his Brooklyn loft is not involved. Will be fine. That black neighborhood that's burning, they could have used somebody being appropriately alarmed at that moment, but no, CNN wanted to put those fires, rhetorical fires, out while the real fires raged on. So he changed then, out of a political expediency, a couple of weeks later.
Discount people who are doing things to public property that they shouldn't be doing. It does have to be understood that this city has got, for the last several years, an issue with police.
So then he goes, okay, it's fine. Maybe the stuff is happening. Maybe they are burning the entire place down, but the police are here, jerks here, making...
It reminds me of, remember when there was the Target that was hugely looted? And then after the fact, a bunch of activists tried to be like, oh, but actually, if you understand how Target has exploited minority community, they tried to actually make a reason why it was okay that they
once
looted
again,
Target.
Discount people who are doing things to public property that they shouldn't be doing. It does have to be understood that this city has got, for the last several years, an issue with police.
Context. There are problems with the police, so you should want to burn the black neighborhood down if you're living here. So it's all fine. So don't just put aside what you're seeing as he works to do damage control. This is a guy who wants there to be more Twitter policing. Then he evolved even more. after he was shown to be a worldwide jackass, he said, okay, all right, I get caught trying to pretend that there weren't fires and wide-scale chaos, and I look like an a-hole. How do I work this? So he workshops it a little bit and comes back with this.
Much of what we enjoy today, our freedoms, are the fruits of violence.
Oh, violence is good.
That's right.
Oh, good. Phew.
It's good. Aha!
That, of course, was pre-January 6th, and the media, of course, takes no responsibility for spending the entire year leading up to January 6th telling people that violence was a totally legitimate form of protest.
Absolutely.
And was completely fine.
So, because I spent way too much time in my life today on Ali Velshi while you were flirting with guys in the liquor store.
Mostly I was at church today. I didn't want to be at the liquor store.
Likely story.
In like whorish makeup. I didn't want to be.
So
next time you go. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So then I just happened to get onto an Ali Velshi hosted segment where they have Kanye West had just been in the Oval Office with Donald Trump.
Okay.
So it's the end of the world because Kanye and Trump are talking flippantly and just holding court there. So that, of course, is a crisis. That can't happen because that's just unspeakable that this is what is going on here. Oh, my God, Trump, it's so irregular. So, of course, the White House has to bring somebody on to bring clarity to this. Now, Ali Velshi is not going to bring the right clarity to this. They're going to need somebody with a different hue than Ali Velshi. So, what member of the White House press corps do you think they grab?
Yamiche?
Correct. They grab PBS's Yamiche Alcindor to straighten it all out for them. And now this is just Yamiche talking. What's notable here is Ali Velshi, stand-up journalist, stand-up thinker, analyst. The silence from him is incredible.
What we see is a complete transformation of Kanye West. This was a rapper who's not only is his music really something of a rallying cry for African Americans, and he's really a conscious rapper, but this is also a rapper who said George Bush doesn't care about black people at the height of when people were criticizing President Trump's handling of Hurricane Katrina.
Wouldn't you at least correct her right then?
Say, you mean Bush.
Right. Just to be very clear here, but no.
Because so many African Americans in New Orleans felt abandoned by the federal government and the White House. Now you have him using specific stereotypes that have been overused about African Americans. He talked about the fact that black people have been using welfare, that there aren't fathers in the home. Of course, we know that those things are just patently false, and that Kanye West was really...
Wouldn't you, if you were Ali Velshi, beacon of truth and thoughtful analysis, say, wait 1 second, Yamiche. What is untrue about that? Just help us understand, Yamiche. Are there plenty of fathers in the households in the black community? Has that been the problem, the surplus of fathers in the households? Or is that a very truthful thing?
It is a truthful thing, and it's something that I would probably describe as a, quote, systemic inequity that's leading to disparate outcomes for black kids. You would think that would be kind of an important detail.
That goes right by Al Velshi unchecked.
Talking about all this stuff and really not making a lot of sense in front of President Trump. It was a truly bizarre moment.
Okay.
Truly bizarre moment. My goodness, how terrible. One last Ali Velshi, Kanye, Trump moment.
He says that Kanye's really good for him with African American voters.
Now tell us that isn't true, please, Yamiche, and to source it for us.
I don't think that Kanye West is going to help him at all get any more votes from African Americans. I think.
Keep in mind, Alice, Velshi is all for thoughtful journalism, not reckless, not reckless speculation, but thoughtful journalism.
The people that already like President Trump are going to look and say, look, Kanye West is someone that African Americans have championed, who say that this is someone who they've really, really looked at and said that this is a star of rappers. They're going to be able to look at this and say, hey, look, there are clearly some African Americans who like President Trump. Just look at what Kanye West said about him. So I think for his base, this will just make them feel better. But I think for African Americans, just looking on Twitter and getting some of the text messages that I'm getting, people were appalled that Kanye West did this.
Well, Twitter and the texts I'm getting tell me people were appalled.
Yeah.
So the blacks were appalled. The black people were appalled. Ali, okay? There you go. I've come and said the things you wanted me to say.
How
wink,
many,
wink.
by the way, out of Yamishe's contacts, how many do you think are poor or working class, by the way, of any race? The people who text her day to day. How many are working with forklifts or
I would say very few.
plumbing
I would say very few are anything but elite progressives.
Right. So obviously they're appalled. It's just so out of touch. And I think that what's going to be interesting to see, especially because I think this topic is so timely with the White House going into ban menthol cigarettes right now. And just like the attitude that reveals about working class black people. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Because they're saying explicitly that they're doing it because black people smoke menthols. You know, the president of the NAACP went out and said that this was like a win for justice, that they're banning menthol cigarettes, so now they can go send police to hassle people who smoke menthol cigarettes, I guess. I don't know. But so it seems so out of touch with the concerns of everyday working people that are just, you know, struggling to get by, whatever. Like, look, we're taking a break from drinking because we drink more than we want to, and we know it's probably not good that we drink as much and as often as we do.
It's expensive too.
It is expensive, and yeah, should we stop? Yeah, we're gonna take a big break from it right now.
Well,
right?
It's not overpromise, Alice. We don't have to be filling Coke cans with vodka.
But I mean, like, how would you and I feel though about a White House that made drinking Trulies illegal?
Obviously, I want them the hell out of my business.
Because and especially like when you have so many other concerns going on in your life, like I'm just trying to deal with inflation and figure out how to send my kids to school without someone showing them. It
comes from such a place of elitism,
and like, and like go through my day, and like now I have to worry about this. Like you're taking away like one little comfortable thing that I have because it's not good for me. Like let me help you.
Well, but also
your problem in life comes from drinking too many Trulies, Alice. Like
but also
so
the problem is the thing is that it wouldn't happen with Trulies, Alice, at the moment, because
white people drink Trulies.
Some of the elites drink Trulies at the moment, so that's all right. So what it is, it's the wine moms of Cambridge, Massachusetts, saying, "We want to help you be more like us. I know you want to be like us. Who wouldn't want to be like us? And we don't smoke menthols. Oh, no." You know, we have our own. We do Percocets and Klonopin and 180,000 little medications we take, you know, to keep ourselves thoroughly addled.
That are hard enough to access for people that can't afford good health insurance.
And boxed wine and whatever it is like that. Be more like us. So we're going to take away your menthol cigarettes because they're gross. We're going to take away big gulps, too. Sitting around drinking Coca-Cola. That's not like what we would do. We're going to help you here. Be like us. So we're going to have to send the police over to take away your loose cigarettes and maybe beat the crap out of you if you don't comply, okay? We're doing it for you.
I know.
I feel good about myself now. I have to put yellow and blue ribbons on trees now, okay?
But yeah, it's kind of shocking that they still think like this at this point in time, right? But doesn't it just like completely demonstrate where this White House is right now? That's like what they're going to do.
Right. And then give away 10 grand to wine moms for college forgiveness.
And they'll be like, I can't believe Kanye talked to Donald Trump. All the people I know are just appalled. Like,
he's got mental illness, you know. He's bipolar.
Well, when in 2024, when whoever the Republican nominee is gets a record amount of the black vote and the Hispanic vote and probably of a bunch of other people's votes too, because the Biden administration has constantly screwed them over in every possible way, they're going to act all surprised because they honestly are going to believe that they were responding to like the real concerns of regular people by taking away their menthol cigarettes and making oil and gas unaffordable and telling them to just go buy an electric car. Which, can they even say that anymore now that the premier electric car company is owned by Elon Musk? Can they tell people to go buy an electric car?
All you need now is Musk to own. All you need now is Trump starting to get into electric cars and DeSantis. Wow, wouldn't that be
all of a sudden they'll start caring about lithium mines and children in poor countries and Uyghurs forced to make solar panels and everything else. So anyway, thank you so much for listening. If you're a Patreon subscriber, head on over to patreon.com/burnbarrel, or if you're not, you can subscribe there. We're going to do our extra Sunday Patreon show. We will see you on that side. As always, you can find us for free at burnbarrelpodcast.com. Oh, wait, Tom, we didn't do messages.
Oh, dang it. Hold on.
I just thought of it because I said burnbarrelpodcast.com.
Goodness, messages.
Oh, wow. We have voice messages now. This is a thing that you can do. Also, you can go to burnbarrelpodcast.com, and there's a red button there that you can use to leave us a voice message.
We got a lot of messages.
That we can play on the show. Sorry
okay, you ready?
That. Sorry, yes. Go ahead. Let's hear some messages.
Good morning.
Morning.
Tommy NH here. Tom, the term you were struggling to find was catalytic converter. You lost that on a 2006 Volvo.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to consider another car.
Really?
That's going to be an expensive one.
Well, obviously.
Alice, can you give an update on the livestock situation? How many animals are left on the Shattuck farm?
Right now, 7 guinea fowl and 3 chickens.
Hopefully 0 guinea fowl.
I like
in
the
3
guinea
chickens.
fowl.
The chickens are good. The guinea fowl are a-holes. I'm calling all hawks, all raptors, please. Come to the 42nd parallel-ish, a few miles from the water in northern Massachusetts, please, and kill these guinea hens when you see them outside. Yeah, I'm not going to buy another cattle. I can't. Forget it. Can we just have, as somebody called...
We just need to quickly move to a state that doesn't
Yes.
have do inspection stickers.
Or somebody has to... Do I have theft insurance for the car?
No.
I don't?
Theft insurance?
Yeah, so if somebody steals the Volvo, I don't get money?
Is that a thing? I don't
Yes,
know.
of course it is. Of course it is.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, maybe then.
I think so.
If it's a thing,
I don't
then
know,
maybe
guys.
we
If you
do.
know
I
any
don't know.
illegal or
I'd
semi-illegal
have to look at our insurance policy.
things I can do
I
to
don't
get
know.
out from under that car, let me know.
I don't know.
Hi, Tom and Alice.
Hi, Mike.
Mike and Groveland here.
Oh, my goodness.
Love the show. You guys are doing God's work.
Thanks, Mike.
I just want to thank you for the earworm you gave me from the New Report Drag Queen, the Coconut song. I appreciate that. It's stuck in my head all morning. I don't see it going away anytime soon. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, Mike. Mike in proximity too, Alice. Maybe he could help me do the insurance job in my car.
Hey guys, it's Muffy. I mean Toast. I reject the Brahmin label, even though I have an autographed copy of the Preppy Handbook and a carved duck on my mantle. Number 2, I agree that horsewomen are crazy, but I myself am not crazy. And then 3, I think the burn babe and shathead debate comes down to gender, so we may need a biologist to figure this out.
Ooh.
Bye.
Good point.
Well said.
True.
She is absolutely a Brahmin. I don't think she's crazy. She's absolutely a Brahmin. She is. If you've got a riding, what's that called? The stick?
Crop?
Yes. If you have a riding crop and she's got an array of them, one for each different day, then you are a Brahmin. There's no doubt about that.
Hey, Tom and Alice. I was wondering if it's a possibility to have Rosalind merchandise. All right. Thanks. Bye.
He's not going to believe this, but I don't know what Rosalind looks like, actually. And I don't think she's got a great voice. I like a nice, you have a nice voice, Alice. You always did. I like a nice, what's the actress that I said you had a nice voice for? The girl who played Ben Stiller's
Malin
wife.
Akerman, I guess.
Yeah. There you go. But I mean, anything's possible. Who knows?
Hey, Tom and Alice. I was wondering why Pauly Shore was so popular in the 90s. I've rewatched his movies, and I still don't get it. Never laughed once. All right, bye.
Oh, he was such an idiot. He was such an idiot. Oh, he was an idiot. Because he was Mitzi Shore, who runs the Comedy Store or whatever, son. So he was high profile. He was youngish then. MTV found him. He did this stupid thing, saying he was the weasel. I unfortunately, so when I was the male receptionist at my job, I saw him one time, and he was openly talking about sleeping with women in the 90s by name, which I thought was appreciated, but not a class thing to do. But he's a moron, and he said, I just saw him on a show, and he said, "Oh man, my life was so good back then. I just miss it, dude. I just miss it." It's like, yeah, of course it was good. You were at the MTV Beach House with women who thought you were cool. Hate him. Hate him. Although there was a couple of funny scenes in Biodome, the record show.
Oh, me.
How did I click the recorder link?
I guess the computer's got a microphone.
Not sure that went exactly how they're expecting it, but, what are you going to do?
Hey, Tom, this is the Spook Light. What's this about you touching Rosalind's chest?
So Spook Light sounds a little bit like Tom Brokaw. Hi.
Oh, I wish I could have seen it.
Oh, Jesus. These are your... You want to do this, Alice?
No, you're in charge of the phone line.
I don't like this. Look at this message, by the way. It's entitled Tom's Bike.
Hey, Tom, it's me, your bike. Ring, ring, ring. Wish you would ride me. It's been forever.
It has been forever. I'm not riding you because I'm a fat, and then people stop and call 911 to get me an EMT. You've ruined it. A world civilization, American civilization. Freaking stop. Are you all right? Oh, yeah, I'm fine. You sure? F you.
Hey, Tom and Alice. I was wondering if either of you have ever had a pork tenderloin sandwich. It's big here in the Hoosier State. All right, thanks. Bye.
I don't usually have pork sandwiches. I would like a pork belly sandwich more than anything, but I would give it a shot. There's no doubt about that. Alice?
I have not had a pork tenderloin sandwich, but
yeah, the Lexington Yacht Bunny is looking down her nose at your sandwich.
I'm not looking down my nose at anybody.
Oh my goodness.
I love everyone.
Pork tenderloin. I bet you those moogaloos who were trying to paw me in the liquor section of the store today ate those.
Hey, this is Adam from Planet Fitness. I was wondering if Tom Shattuck was there. I'm calling on behalf of some of our members. Complain that you are having loud sex acts in the locker rooms. I was just wanting to know if that's true. Some of them said that some of the acts involved urine. All right, thanks, bye.
My goodness. First of all, I'm just relieved it's not a billing issue call, which it usually is. Adam, that is incorrect. I will straighten this out when I get there. There has been a scurrilous lie spread on this trashy podcast that because Alice Shattuck has opened up this freedom of speech, I need to put Ali Velshi in charge of content so that we can weed out all these scurrilous lies. It's ridiculous.
Well, anyway, that is our phone line. Wait, wasn't there one from Fritz the Cat?
Yes, I played it, Alice.
Oh, you did? Okay. Sorry. You played them out of order then.
Yes, I played them out of order because I don't want to play 82 from the same person. I played them out of order. Yes, Alice.
Okay. Well, if you want to leave a message, you can go to burnbarrelpodcast.com.
And guys, I want some defense of me and castigation of Alice. She deserves it.
C'est la vie.